The sky darkened over Seoul as the massive ships blocked the sun. People stopped and looked up. Cars stopped in the middle of roads. The world went quiet. Han Soo stood on the roof of the military base, binoculars pressed to his eyes. As a major in South Korea's defense forces, he had trained for many threats. Not this. Never this. "Sir, the president is asking for you," said a young soldier behind him. Han Soo nodded but didn't move. He couldn't take his eyes off the ships. They looked like giant dragons from old stories, long with wings that didn't flap and scales that shimmered with strange light. 5 minutes, he said. The ships had appeared 3 hours ago. First one, then 3, then 12. They hung in the sky over major cities around the world. They did nothing but watch. Han Soo's phone rang. It was his old friend, Dr. Kim Yuna. "Are you seeing this?" she asked. Her voice shook. "Yes," he said. "What do you think they want?" "I don't know, but the heat readings from those ships are strange. They're warm, Soo, like living things." Han Soo frowned. That wasn't normal for ships made of metal. The world's TVs and radios and phones all turned on at the same time. Everyone saw the same thing. A face that looked like a lizard but stood like a man. It had golden eyes with thin black lines down the middle. Its skin was dark green with patches of blue. When it opened its mouth, its teeth were white and sharp. "People of Earth," it said in perfect Korean, though Han Soo knew people in other countries heard their own languages. "I am Commander J of the Raong Fleet. We have watched your world for many years. We have seen your wars, your hate, your killing. We have come to stop it." Han Soo felt cold. This wasn't a friendly visit. "You are young and wild," the lizard man continued, "like children with guns. We will help you grow. We will teach you peace. We will stop your wars and your hate. You will listen to us now." The screen showed pictures of Raong ships landing in fields, in deserts, near cities. "We come to help, but we will not accept no. Those who fight will be stopped. Those who listen will be safe. You have 1 day to tell your leaders to welcome us. 1 day." The screens went dark. Han Soo's phone rang again. This time it was the president. "Get to the Blue House now," the president said. "Bring anyone who might help us understand what we're dealing with." Han Soo called Kim Yuna as he ran down the stairs. "The president wants to see us," he said. "Us? I'm just a doctor who studies animals. You study how different animals live and think. These things look like lizards. Maybe you can help us understand them." 3 hours later, Han Soo sat in a room with 20 important people. Generals, scientists, government workers. They all looked scared. "The United Nations is meeting right now," the president said. "America, China, Russia, they all got the same message. No one knows what to do." "We must not show fear," said General Park. "Maybe we should welcome them," said a woman from the foreign ministry. "They might really be here to help." Han Soo said nothing. He was watching the screens showing the Raong ships. Something wasn't right. The ships had what looked like big guns, but they were in strange places. The ship's sides were heavily protected, but the bottoms weren't. It was like they were built to fight something that attacks from the sides, not from below. "They're afraid of something," he finally said. Everyone looked at him. "What do you mean?" asked the president. "Look at their ships. They're built to fight enemies that attack from the sides or above, not from below." "Why? What are they afraid of?" Kim Yuna pulled up pictures on her tablet. "He's right. And look at their body shape. Those are prey adaptations, eyes on the sides of the head. Good for seeing danger coming. Predators have eyes in front." "So?" asked General Park. "So," said Han Soo, "they're running from something. And they're using us for protection." The room went quiet. Outside, the dragon ships began to land. 6 months passed since the Raong ships first came to Earth. The world had changed. Dr. Kim Yuna looked out the window of the tall building that now served as a Raong research center. It used to be a university. Now it belonged to the dragons. She adjusted her lab coat and the special badge all human workers had to wear. The badge was blue with a symbol that meant helper in the Round language. "Dr. Kim, please come. The new samples are ready," said her assistant, Lee. Yuna nodded and followed him to the lab. Today, they would study plants from the Amazon. At least, that's what the Round thought. Yuna had other plans. For 6 months, she had been watching the Round. She saw things others missed. The way they moved slower on cold days, how they drank more water than seemed normal, the strange pills they took each morning. The Round needed something from Earth. But it wasn't just control. In another part of Seoul, Han Su met with 4 people in a small room under a noodle shop. The room had no windows and was soundproof. They spoke in whispers anyway. "The dragons have bases in every major city now," said Park, a former police officer. "They control the government, the military, everything." "Not everything," said Han Su. He spread a map on the table. "They avoid these areas." He pointed to spots in mountains and deep forests. "Why?" "Too cold," asked Sun, a young computer expert. "We know they don't like cold." "Maybe," said Han Su. "But there's more. Dr. Kim sent this." He showed them a small device with numbers and charts. "The Raum are taking medicine every day. Their bodies are fighting something in our air, our water. Earth is making them sick." The others looked surprised. "They're not as strong as they want us to think," Han Su said. "And they're building something big, something secret." Back in the lab, Yuna carefully took a small sample from a sleeping Round guard. They slept deeply after lunch, another weakness she had noticed. The sample went into a special container that she hid in her pocket. Later, she would test it in a secret lab in her apartment. The Round trusted her because she smiled and acted afraid. They didn't know she had been in the army before becoming a doctor. They didn't know she was brave. As she worked, a new Ryong entered the lab. Unlike the others, this one wore red armor with gold marks. "Important. Dr. Kim," the Ryong said in its strange voice. "I am Sub-Commander Ta. You have been chosen for a special project." Yuna bowed her head, as humans were expected to do. "I am honored. We need your knowledge of Earth animals. You will join a team going to the mountains. There is something there we need to study." Yuna's heart beat faster. The mountains, where the Ryong rarely went. "When do we leave?" she asked. "Tomorrow. Be ready." When the Ryong left, Yuna sent a coded message to Han Su. "Mountains, tomorrow. Big chance." That night, Commander Jay stood on top of the tallest building in Seoul, looking at the stars. His second-in-command, Ta, joined him. "The humans are accepting their place," Jay said. "They learn quickly." "Most do," said Ta. "Some still resist. It doesn't matter. We don't need their love, just their obedience. And their planet." "The signals are getting stronger," Ta said quietly. "They are coming." Jay's scales darkened with fear. How long? Months, maybe less. The nest chips must be ready by then. Have the humans found any traces yet? No, they don't know what to look for, and we must keep it that way. If they learn about the wild ones. Ta nodded. We should send more ships to the old sites. If any wild ones are sleeping on this planet, we must find them first. Below them, the city lights blinked like stars. Humans moved about their lives, not knowing the real reason the Ryong had come, not knowing what was coming next. In her apartment, Yuna packed a small bag for the mountain trip. She included a camera, hidden tools, and a small gun Han Su had given her. Something important was in the mountains, and she was going to find out what it was. The mountain air was cold and thin. Yuna's breath made small clouds as she climbed behind 3 Round guards. They moved slowly in the cold, just as she had noticed in her lab. Their scales had a dull look. They didn't like this place. "How much farther?" she asked. "The cave is just ahead," said the lead Round. He wore extra layers of clothing. They all did. Yuna pretended to be tired and stopped to rest. Really, she was taking pictures with a tiny camera hidden in her jacket button. Pictures of the Raung looking weak. Pictures of the strange devices they carried. The cave mouth was dark and tall. Ice hung from the top like teeth. Yuna felt a strange feeling, like the cave was watching her. "What are we looking for?" she asked. None of the Raung answered. They turned on bright lights and entered the cave. Yuna followed. Inside, the cave walls were smooth, too smooth. "This isn't natural," she whispered. One of the Raung looked at her sharply. "Be quiet and do your job. Look for signs of animals living here." They walked deeper. The Raung used strange tools that beeped and flashed with lights. They seemed worried. Then Yuna saw it. On the wall, a painting. It looked very old, maybe thousands of years old. It showed people bowing to large creatures. The creatures looked like dragons, but not like the Raung. These were bigger, wilder, with many wings and long teeth that curved like swords. One of the Raung saw her looking and quickly stood in front of the painting. "That is not important," he said. But his voice shook. He was afraid. Further in, they found bones. Large bones, bigger than any animal Yuna knew. The Raung gathered these carefully, putting them in special boxes. "What kind of animal was this?" Yuna asked. "Not from your world," said the lead Raung after a long pause. "A visitor, long ago." Back in Seoul that night, Yuna met Han-Soo at a busy market. They talked quietly while walking. "They're scared of something in those mountains," she said. "I saw cave paintings of creatures that looked like dragons, but not like the Raung. Wilder, bigger. Did you get pictures?" She nodded. "And I found this." From her pocket, she pulled out a small piece of something that looked like a scale, but it was black with red lines running through it. It felt warm even though it wasn't alive. "I found it near the bones. The Raung didn't see me take it." Han-Soo studied the scale. "So there's another alien species, one that was here before." "I think so. And I think the Raung are afraid of them. They called them visitors from another world." In a different part of Seoul, a young man named Lee Do sat in a small room filled with computers. Han-Soo had found him 3 months ago. Lee was the best hacker in Korea, maybe in all of Asia. "I'm in," Lee said into his phone. "The Raung's main ship has weird security, but I found a way through." Han-Soo's voice came through the phone. "What did you find?" "There's a lot of data about something called the call. The Raung are tracking them." And Lee's voice trailed off as he read more. "What is it?" Han-Soo asked. "The call are coming here, to Earth. The Raung are building weapons, but not to use against us. They're preparing for something else." At the same time, Commander J received an urgent message. He rushed to the control room of his ship. "Show me," he ordered. A large screen lit up with a star map. Far from Earth, but moving closer, were red dots. "How many?" Jai asked, his voice low. "At least 20 ships. Kaul Hunter class." Jay's scales turned pale. "Speed up the nest ship construction. Double the human workers. We need more time." "And if the humans discover the truth?" his officer asked. "They won't. They're simple creatures. By the time they understand, it will be too late." But in the market, Yuna showed Han-Soo more pictures from the cave. One showed the wild dragon creatures fighting with the smaller ones that looked like the Raung. "The Raung didn't come here to help us," Han-Soo said. "They came here to hide." "Hide from what?" Yuna asked. "From the wild ones. And I think they're coming back." Lee Do had not slept in 2 days. His eyes were red, and empty coffee cups filled his small desk. But he didn't stop working. What he had found in the Raung's files was too important. His computer screen showed strange symbols that changed to Korean as he watched. The Raung had records of many worlds, many people, and they had done the same thing to all of them. His phone rang. It was Han-Soo. "I need to show you something," Lee said. "Now." 3 hours later, Han Su, Yuna, and 3 other resistance leaders sat in Li's small room. They watched as he showed them what he had found. The Raung have done this before, Li said. They find a world with people. They come as helpers or rulers. They build special ships and bases. Then they wait. Wait for what? Asked Sun, the young computer expert. For them. The call. Li showed a picture of a creature that looked like the cave paintings Yuna had seen. It was big, with many wings and teeth like swords. It looked wild and strong. The call hunt the Raung, Li explained. They have for thousands of years. The Raung are prey to them. So the Raung came here to hide from these call? Han Su asked. Li shook his head. Not just to hide. To use us. Look. He showed them more files, pictures of other worlds where the Raung had gone. In each one, the same thing happened. The Raung came. They built bases. The call followed. And then, the Raung leave when the call arrived, Yuna said, her voice quiet with shock. They run away and let the call attack the planets they were on. Yes, said Li. They use other people as bait. As shields, so they can escape. The room was quiet as everyone thought about this. How many worlds? Han Su finally asked. 12 that I can find in their records, Li said. All of them were like Earth. All had people. After the Raung left and the call came, many of those people died. Yuna stood up and walked to the window. Outside, a Raung ship flew over the city. So they're not here to help us or rule us, she said. They're here to hide behind us when their enemies come. And the call are coming, Li added. Soon. The Raung are tracking them. They're less than a month away. Han Su looked at the pictures of the call again. They were scary, but he didn't feel afraid. He felt angry. We need to know more about these call, he said. The Raung fear them, but maybe we shouldn't. What do you mean? Park asked. The Raung want to use us against the call. What if we could talk to the call first? What if we could make a deal with them instead? Meanwhile, at the largest Raung base, Commander J called his officers together. The new nest ships are almost ready, he said. When the call come, we will be able to escape while they focus on this world. What about the humans? Asked Sub-Commander Ta. What about them? J said coldly. They serve their purpose. The call will be busy here for months. By then, we will be far away. Some humans are asking questions, Ta warned. They found the cave site. They might understand what is happening. It doesn't matter, Jay said. They have no way to contact the call. They have no way to save themselves. But Jay was wrong. In the mountains where Yuna had seen the cave paintings, there was an old temple. The temple had been built by humans long ago, but not for human gods. It had been built for the visitors from the stars. The wild ones. The call. And deep inside that temple was something the Raung had not found. Something that could reach across space. Something that could call the wild ones. There's one more thing, Li told the resistance group. The call don't just hunt the Raung for food. According to these files, they hunt them because the Raung once attacked their worlds. This is an old war. So the call might listen to us. Yuna asked. Maybe, said Li, if we can reach them before they get here. Han Su nodded. Then we need to find a way to talk to them. And I think I know where to start. The old temple stood on the mountain like it had grown from the rock itself. Park Ji led the small team up the narrow path. She had been a mountain guide before the Raung came. Now she used her skills for the resistance. Not much farther, she said. Behind her walked Sun, carrying heavy bags of equipment. Dr. Kim Yuna followed, looking at the strange marks on the rocks beside the path. Han Su would have come too, but he was needed in Seoul to lead the larger resistance plan. The wind was cold. Snow covered the higher peaks. The Raung would not follow them here. The cold made them slow and sick. There it is, Park said, pointing. The temple entrance was a dark hole in the side of the mountain. Old stone columns stood on each side, carved with shapes that looked like the call from the cave paintings. "This place is over 3,000 years old," Yuna said. "Our ancestors built it for the wild ones." Inside, the air was still and dry. Their lights showed a large room with a high ceiling. More carvings covered the walls, pictures of humans, and call together. In some, the humans gave gifts to the call. In others, the call seemed to be teaching the humans. They weren't enemies, Sun said, surprised. They worked together. "Look at this," Yuna called from across the room. She stood in front of a stone table. On it sat a round object made of metal that didn't look rusty even after thousands of years. "This isn't human-made," she said. "Not from that time. This is call technology." Sun put down his bags and took out the equipment Li Du had prepared. There were computers, radios, and strange devices built from parts taken from round ships. Li said this temple is in a direct line with where the call ships are coming from, Sun explained as he worked. If the call left this device here, it might be a way to talk to them. Yuna studied the metal object while Sun set up the equipment. "It's warm," she said. "After all this time, it's still warm." It took 3 days to make everything work. They used Li's instructions, connecting their equipment to the call device. They sent signals into space, using codes found in the round files. Then they waited. On the 4th night, Yuna was alone in the temple while the others slept in tents outside. She heard a sound like thunder, but the sky was clear. She ran outside. A light crossed the sky, getting bigger, coming closer. "Wake up," she shouted. "Something's coming." The light grew until it was as bright as the sun. Then it stopped directly above the temple. The air felt heavy and full of energy. The ground shook. Park and Sun joined Yuna, watching as something came down from the light. It wasn't a ship like the round used. It looked more like a large piece of metal that changed shape as it moved. It landed softly on the snow in front of the temple. For a moment, nothing happened. Then a part of it opened. A creature stepped out. It was bigger than a human, bigger than a round. It had 4 strong legs and 2 arms with hands that had long fingers. Its body was covered in scales that shifted between black and deep red. Wings, 6 of them, folded against its back. Its head had 2 golden eyes that seemed to burn like fire. When it opened its mouth, its teeth were long and curved like swords, just as in the cave paintings. A call. Yuna couldn't move. The creature was beautiful and terrifying. It walked toward them slowly, its steps making no sound in the snow. Park reached for her gun, but Sun stopped her. "Wake," he whispered. "It's not attacking." The call stopped a few steps away. It looked at each of them, its golden eyes taking in everything. Then it spoke. Its voice was deep and rough, like rocks falling down a mountain. But they understood the words. "You called," it said. "After so long, you remembered how to call." Yuna took a step forward, her heart beating fast. "Yes," she said. "We need your help." The call's eyes narrowed. "The Raum are here." It wasn't a question. "Yes," Yuna said. "They came to use us as shields against you, but we want to make a different deal." The call was silent for a moment. Then it made a sound that might have been a laugh. "Then speak, human. Tell me what you offer." Han Su arrived at the temple 2 days later. The call was still there, waiting in the large main room. It did not seem bothered by the cold that kept the Raum away. The call watched Han Su with golden eyes that missed nothing. It had told them to call it Choi, a simple name humans could say easily. "So you are the leader," Choi said in its deep voice. "One of them," Han Su answered. He was not afraid, but he felt small next to the huge creature. "We don't have just one leader." Choi made the sound that might be a laugh. "Good. Too many worlds fall because they have only one head to cut off." The team sat around a fire they had built inside the temple. Choi stayed in the shadows, its scales reflecting the firelight. "Tell me about your people," Han Su said. "About the call." Choi's wings shifted. "We are hunters. We follow the old ways. We take what we need, no more. The Raong. Choi's voice grew angry. They take everything. The Raong files say you hunt them for food, Sun said. Long ago, yes, Choi said. But then they built weapons and ships. They attacked our worlds, killed our young. Now we hunt them for a different hunger. Revenge, Yuna said quietly. Justice, Choi corrected. There is a difference. Han Su leaned forward. The Raong came here pretending to help us. They said we needed their control. But they plan to use us as shields when you come, then run away. Yes, Choi said. They have done this on many worlds. They find people who don't know about the stars. They take control. They build nest ships to escape. When we follow, they leave the people to face us while they flee. What happens to those people? Park asked. The ones left behind. Choi was silent for a moment. Some fight us, not knowing we are not their real enemy. They die. Some hide and survive. Some worlds burn in the fight. The humans looked at each other. This was what the Raong planned for Earth. But you don't have to kill us, Han Su said. We could help you instead. Choi's golden eyes fixed on Han Su. How? We can help you hunt the Raong, Han Su said. They think we're weak and stupid. They don't watch us carefully. We can tell you where they are, what they're planning. We can help you catch them. And what do you want in return? Choi asked. When it's done, you leave Earth in peace, Han Su said. No hunting humans. No taking our world. Choi stood up to its full height. Its wings spread halfway, making it look even bigger. You would betray those who came to your world. Even if they came with lies, they are still guests under your sky. Han Su stood too, though he only came up to Choi's chest. They are not guests. They are invaders who plan to sacrifice us. They broke trust first. We are just making sure we survive. Choi made a deep sound, like rocks grinding together. The humans realized it was thinking. Your people built this temple long ago, Choi finally said. When the Call first visited Earth, your ancestors did not fear us. They learned from us. They gave us safe places to rest during our hunts. Then we had a deal before, Yuna said. Yes, a good deal. Your kind are not prey to us. Never were. Choi's teeth showed in what might have been a smile. You are too small to make a good meal anyway. The humans didn't know if this was a joke, but they smiled nervously. So, Han Su said, will you make a deal with us now? We help you hunt. You leave us in peace after. Choi was quiet again, thinking. Then it reached out one long-fingered hand. Among the Call, deals are made with touch, it said. Han Su reached out and placed his hand against Choi's. The scaled skin was warm and rough. We have a deal, Choi said. But know this, if you trick us, we will know, and we will not forgive. We understand, Han Su said. The Raong are the enemy, not us. Then let us plan the hunt, Choi said. My ship has called the others. The Call fleet comes. We must be ready. Outside, snow began to fall. In Seoul, the Raong continued building their escape ships, not knowing that their prey had found new hunters to help them. The resistance group worked day and night in an old factory outside Seoul. The Raong rarely came to this area because of the cold from the nearby mountains. It was perfect for their plans. Ba Min checked the small device in his hands. Before the Raong came, he had built airplanes. Now he built weapons. Will it work? Han Su asked, watching over his shoulder. It should, Ba said. These matched the weak points Dr. Kim found in the Raong ships. Across the large room, Yuna studied maps with Park Ji. They marked places where the Raong had built their bases and ships. They have 3 main nest ships, Yuna said. One here, and the biggest one here. She pointed to spots on the map. When the Call come, the Raong will try to leave in these ships. And the Raong soldiers? Park asked. They have orders to slow down the call while the leaders escape, Yuna said. They'll use human cities as shields. Han Su joined them at the map. Then we need to move people away from those areas. How? Park asked. The Raon watch everything. Not everything, Han Su said with a small smile. They think we're too stupid to understand what's happening. That will be their biggest mistake. In another part of the factory, Li Du worked with Sun and 20 other computer experts. They had built a network that the Raon couldn't find. It connected resistance groups all over the world. The Americans are ready, Li said, looking at his screen. The Chinese too, even the Russians. And the call ships? Han Su asked. 3 days away, Li said. Maybe less. Han Su nodded. Then we start tomorrow. The next day, rumors began to spread across Seoul. Strange diseases, bad water, gas leaks. People began to leave the areas near Raon bases, moving to the hills and mountains. The Raon noticed but didn't stop them. Fewer humans meant less trouble. At the largest Raon base, Commander Jay received reports of the human movement. They're leaving the cities, an officer told him. Let them go, Jay said. It doesn't matter where they hide. The call will find them after we're gone. But the nest ships need more workers, the officer said. We still have work to finish. Then take more humans, Jay said coldly. Use force if needed. The officer left, and Sub-Commander Tai entered the room. The call ships have passed the outer planets, Tai reported. They will be here in 2 days. Jay's scales turned pale. And the nest ships. The main one is ready. The others need more time. Focus all workers on the main ship, Jay ordered. We can save most of our people in that one. What the Raon didn't know was that many of the human workers on their ships were resistance members. They worked slowly. They made small mistakes. They placed Ba Min's devices in hidden spots throughout the ships. Ba himself worked with a different team. Using parts stolen from Raon weapons, they built special guns that could hurt the tough alien scales. These won't kill them, Ba explained to a group of fighters, but they will slow them down, enough for the call to catch them. That night, Han Su met with Choi in the mountains. The call had stayed hidden since their first meeting, but now time was short. My people are almost here, Choi said. 20 ships, our best hunters. We'll be ready, Han Su promised. We've moved as many humans as we can away from the target areas. We've placed trackers on the Raon ships. Good, Choi said. But you should know, even with your help, this will not be an easy fight. The Raon are weak compared to Call, but they are still dangerous. Many humans may die. Han Su nodded. We know. Some have volunteered to lead the Raon into your traps. They understand they might not come back. Choi looked at Han Su with new interest. Your people are braver than I thought. The Raon chose the wrong world to use as a shield. As dawn broke, the sky turned strange colors. People around the world looked up and saw lights moving across the stars. The call had arrived, and the hunt was about to begin. The first call ship appeared over Seoul like a storm cloud made of metal. It was huge, bigger than the Raon ships. Its shape kept changing, like it was alive. The people who had stayed in the city looked up in fear. They didn't know these new aliens were not their enemies. In the Raon command center, alarms screamed. Officers ran in all directions. Commander Jay stood still, his scales now almost white with fear. Launch the nest ships now, he ordered. All of them, ready or not. But the main engines on ships 2 and 3 are not fully tested, an officer said. Now, Jai shouted, the call are here. Across the city, Han Su watched from a tall building as the giant Raon nest ships began to rise. They moved slowly, their engines glowing blue. Lee, are the trackers working? He asked into his radio. Yes, Lee's voice answered. All 3 ships are sending signals. The call can see them. Han Su turned to the group with him. 20 men and women, all carrying Bob Min's special guns. "Remember the plan," he said. "Drive the Raung soldiers toward the valley. That's where Choi and the other call will be waiting." The group nodded. They were scared but ready. Outside the city, in a wide valley between mountains, Choi and 5 other call waited. They were all like Choi, big with multiple wings and scales that shifted colors. They had weapons that looked like they were made from the same living metal as their ships. "The prey runs," one of the calls said in its deep voice. "As they always do. This time they will not escape," Choi said. "The humans will help us." The call looked at the small creatures beside them, Park Ji and her team of mountain guides. The humans seemed tiny next to the giant hunters, but they did not show fear. "We're ready," Park said. "We know these mountains better than anyone." In the city, panic spread as the Raung soldiers realized what was happening. Their leaders were leaving. The call were coming. And the humans they thought were weak were fighting back. Han Su's team moved through the streets, firing Ba's weapons at any Raung they saw. The guns shot electricity that made the Raung scales burn with pain. It didn't kill them, but it made them run. "That way," Han Su shouted, pointing toward the valley. "Drive them that way." All across the city, other resistance teams did the same. The Raung soldiers, confused and afraid, ran in the direction the humans pushed them, away from their ships toward the mountains. In the sky, something even more amazing happened. The first nest ship, the one Jay was on, rose high above the city. It was almost free, almost ready to jump to the stars and escape. Then it stopped. Inside, Jay screamed with anger as the controls stopped working. "What's happening?" he demanded. "The engines are failing," a technician said. "Someone sabotaged them." In hidden places throughout the ship, Ba Min's devices had turned on, sending signals that confused the ship's systems. A voice came over the ship's speakers. Li Du's voice. "Commander Jay," he said, "did you think humans were too stupid to understand your plan? We know you meant to sacrifice us to the call, but we made a different deal." Zhe looked out the window and saw a call ship coming toward them. It opened like a flower made of metal and fire. On the ground, the fleeing Raung soldiers reached the valley. They thought they were escaping the city and the humans. Instead, they found the call waiting. Choi stepped forward, its golden eyes burning. Behind it, the other calls spread their wings. "Remember this," Choi said to the terrified Raung. "The humans didn't need your protection. They needed ours even less. They are not prey to be used as shields. They are hunters, like us." The hunt began. The call moved with incredible speed for their size. Their weapons cut through Raung armor like it was paper. The Raung fought back, but they were outnumbered and afraid. In the sky, the 3 nest ships tried to escape, but the call ships surrounded them. One by one, they were caught. Commander Jay watched as his plan fell apart. The humans he thought were simple and weak had outsmarted him. They had called the Wild Ones. They had chosen to help his enemies. The humans had fed the Raung to the call. 3 months after the battle, spring came to Seoul. Green leaves appeared on trees that had been damaged in the fighting. People worked to rebuild broken buildings. Life was coming back. Han Su stood on the roof of the old military base, the same place where he had first seen the Raung ships. Now he watched a different ship in the sky, a call ship, its metal skin changing colors in the sunlight. "It's beautiful, in a way," said Yuma, who stood beside him. "Yes," Han Su agreed. "Strange how something so dangerous can be beautiful too." The door to the roof opened, and Park Ji came out. "They're ready for you," she said. "Choi wants to speak before they leave." In a large field outside the city, the main call ship rested on the ground. It was the last one. All the others had already left Earth, taking the captured Raung with them. A crowd of people gathered at a safe distance. They were still afraid of the call, even though these aliens had helped save them from the Raung. Choi waited at the foot of the ship. The huge creature looked the same as when Hansu had first met it, strong, wild, and dangerous. But now Hansu knew more about the call. They were hunters, yes, but they followed rules. They kept their promises. "The last of my people leave today," Choi said as Hansu, Yuma, and the other resistance leaders approached. "Our hunt here is done." "All the Raum are gone?" Hansu asked. "Yes. None escaped. They will not threaten this world again." "And your promise to us?" Hansu asked. "Will the call keep their word?" Choi's golden eyes fixed on Hansu. "We have marked this world as under our protection. No species who knows of the call will dare to come here with bad plans." "So we're safe?" Ba Min asked. "From outside threats, yes," Choi said. "From yourselves." The call made the sound like laughing rocks. "That is your own task." Yuna stepped forward with a small box. "We have something for you, to remember our deal." Choi took the box with its long fingers. Inside was an old stone carving from the mountain temple. It showed humans and call together. "Our ancestors knew you," Yuna said. "Now we do too." Choi held the carving carefully. "We have gifts as well." From the ship came 3 other call, carrying large containers. They set them down in front of the humans. "These are not weapons," Choi explained. "They are medicines, tools to clean your air and water, ways to grow food in damaged lands. They will help Earth heal." "Thank you," Hansu said, surprised by the gifts. "Do not thank us," Choi said. "You earned these things. You proved yourselves." Behind them, Li Du was looking at one of the containers. "This technology is amazing," he said. "It's more advanced than anything the Raung had." "The Raung steel technology," Choi said. "The call built it. There is a difference." As the sun began to set, the call prepared to leave. Choi was the last to enter the ship. "Remember," the great creature said before leaving, "the galaxy is full of dangers, but also full of wonders. You humans are new to the stars, but you have shown yourselves to be strong. Not prey to be protected, not tools to be used, but fellow hunters worthy of respect." With those words, Choi entered the ship. The door closed like a wound healing. The ship rose without sound, growing smaller against the darkening sky until it was gone. Later that night, in her lab, Yuna studied samples taken from the battlefield. Something strange had appeared in her tests. "Hansu," she called when he visited. "Look at this." On her screen were images of human DNA next to something else. "What am I looking at?" he asked. "This is human DNA," she said, pointing. "And this is DNA from a call scale that fell during the battle. See these markers here? They're similar, too similar to be chance." "What does it mean?" Hansu asked. "It means the call didn't just visit Earth centuries ago," Yuna said, her voice full of wonder. "They were here thousands, maybe millions of years ago, and they may have left their mark on us." "You mean?" "I mean that somewhere in our past, humans and call may have been connected. We might have a little of the wild ones in us already." Hansu looked out the window at the stars. The galaxy that had seemed so strange and threatening now felt different, like a place where humans might belong after all. "No wonder we knew how to hunt," he said softly.